Hey guys, welcome to Module 4. So we are nearing the halfway point here. And so the focus this week in both our discussion assignment and our short module paper is going to be on court employee and the different types of employees that make up the court system and their roles within our court system. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit about a position, one that you might be interested in or one that you're just curious about. So that's what we're going to work on this week. For our discussion assignment, you're going to be looking at a game of rock, paper, scissors, and it's just going to be a little different type of version adapted for judicial administration. And its intention is to hopefully get you guys to critically think about the different types of court personnel and their impact on each other. In other words, if someone is not doing their job efficiently or effectively, it can clearly impact the other roles within the judicial system. Okay, and so this week in the rock, paper, scissors assignment, you're going to be randomly selecting two positions within the court, and then you're going to be describing for your classmates which one do you think has a more important role or has the ability to stop, stymie, or interfere with the role of the other person. And it's really to get you to really think about how these roles interact with each other as part of the courtroom work group. So that's sort of the focus of that assignment. So hopefully you'll have fun. You'll realize that there is no right or wrong answer. It's just designed to really get you to think about these positions within the court and how much we actually rely on each other to get the job done and to keep the cases moving in an efficient and effective manner through the court system. This week, we do have a short paper assignment, and the short paper assignment has you looking at a specific role within the court system, and that's what you're going to research and write about. Okay, so you're going to write about you're going to explore the role of court personnel, and so you need to take a look at one of the following. So it is sort of restrictive. So you need to either look at a court clerk. Oops, sorry about that. A court clerk, assistant clerk, docketing clerk, administrative assistant, bailiff, lawyer, judge, and then identify whether or not what you're researching is a member of the state or federal court system. Okay, so there are specific roles that you're going to be researching, so keep that in mind. And then just tell me if you're looking at a state or a federal court staff member, because their roles might be slightly different. Right, so that's something you need to keep in mind as you prepare this assignment. So it's really a pretty straightforward and simple assignment this week in terms of critical elements. There are only really two plus the writing criteria, but basically what you need to do is evaluate the role. So identify and describe what role your chosen staff member plays in the operation of the court and some of the tasks that the individual engages in to fulfill his or her job requirements. So basically, what you need to do is identify one of these court roles up here and then take a look at a job description. So you can go online and look at it. Maybe go online and see what, maybe if you're going to do a local or state court, you can go online and see what those type of jobs, for example, court clerk, what exactly does a court clerk do at your local court? Or what is a court clerk duties and responsibilities in the federal judicial system? All right, so again, you need to identify and describe what role your chosen staff member plays in the operation of the court and some of the tasks that the individual engages in, again, to fulfill his or her job requirement. Right? The second thing you're going to look at is efficiency, and you're going to describe the role of the court staff person. So if I'm doing a court clerk, for example, I'm going to describe how a court clerk helps in promoting judicial efficiency. And I'm going to explain how this person's position can help make courts run more or less efficiently, specifically discussing their role relative to court calendars, dockets, and case management. All right. And so let's talk about that for just a second. So a court calendar. Now, we've talked about some of these concepts earlier on in the course, but I'm just going to give you a brief overview, okay? So a court calendar is what provides a list of cases and hearings that will be held by a court on a particular day, week, or month. So typically outside every courtroom is a court calendar. It tells you what cases are on the court's calendar. In other words, there's a bunch of legal activities going to occur that day in the court, and this court calendar tells you what they are. So if I've been arrested for a crime and I'm on the court calendar for courtroom A, then that's where I will be, all right? And that's where my attorney needs to be, in courtroom A. So that's the court calendar. Now, a court docket is simply a record of the proceedings of a court case. So if I get arrested and charged with a crime, my case is going to have a docket number. So hypothetically, let's say my docket number is FWV1022. All right. It is here where all the information relative to my case can be found. It'll have the day of arraignment, any continuances requested, name of legal counsel. All right. It is in essence the history of my case. So a docket needs to be properly updated. It needs to have correct information. So that when my case moves along, a member of the court, usually the judge or the court clerk, will be able to see where the case stands, what's going on with it, the number of continuances, an array of things that are occurred within that docket. All right. So again, that's pretty much the history of your case as it makes its way through the court system. Now, case management is sort of the proactive approach to processing legal matters, basically your court cases. It comprises various techniques to help move cases along in an efficient and an effective manner. So it could be something such as e-filing, electronic filing, docket management programs, ways to minimize continuances, and ways to get the case to move to a quick resolution, or to, require that cases be adjudicated or disposed out within a certain amount of days, let's say 120 days for misdemeanor cases, those type of things. Continuance policies, how does the court address continuances? Because the more continuances we have, the more likely the case is going to drag out longer than we would like. All right. So understand that the role of all of these people in the court system is to process our legal cases, whether they're criminal or civil, in an efficient and effective manner, and to reach a resolution. And we're going to learn more about this in Module 5, but I wanted to offer this quick overview for you so you have an idea as to what we're talking about, okay? So that's going to be the second part of this, is the efficiency. How does this person help with the efficiency of the court system itself? So let's take a quick look. For example, let's say I was going to do my role on a court clerk, okay? So here's a general description of a court clerk. Responsible for preparing dockets of cases to be called, retrieving information for judges to read in court cases, reaching out to witnesses, and obtaining other information for the court. Right? Now understand that each state and each local court might have different requirements for their court clerk. So understand that as you're doing some of your research, because in some cases maybe court clerks are limited to what they're going to do, and others they might have a broader range of duties and responsibilities. Okay, so for example, primary responsibilities: prepare dockets of cases to be called. All right, so if a court clerk is accurately recording and preparing dockets for cases, all right, then there is less likely going to be situations where that case is going to have to be continued. Okay, because anytime you continue a case that's going to impact a court's calendar, it could potentially impact the dockets. In other words, now we have this case still lingering out there. All right, it's been continued now for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and so now we have no resolution on that case. So the court still has that case it has to deal with, and then that's going to impact the ability of the court's case management. In other words, its ability to efficiently and effectively move cases along to the court system. All right. So that's just sort of a little example. And this is a general job description, and you can see the type of things that a court clerk might be involved in. So you can look at these typical duties and responsibilities and sort of analyze, again, how they relate to the ability of this job in terms of court calendars, dockets, and case management, and their ability to efficiently move things along. All right. And that's what we're looking at here. Okay, so again, we're looking at two things: the role, identify and describe what role your chosen staff member plays. So basically tell me what they do. What is it that's required for this position? Why do we have this position? And its role within the court system and the court process that has to take place. All right. Then efficiency, and you're going to describe how this particular person impacts judicial efficiency. And you're going to describe that in the context of court calendars, dockets, and case management. So another example might be if you were to research the role of an attorney. So you describe what an attorney's job is within the court system, okay? And how does an attorney impact the court's efficiency relative to court calendars, dockets, and case management? Well, if I'm an attorney and my case is on the court's calendar, in other words, is docketed on the court's calendar, but I'm not prepared, I'm most likely going to ask for continuance. And that's going to further impact the court's ability to efficiently and effectively manage court cases, because now this case that they were hoping to hear that day, for whatever reason, has been continued. And whether it be because I was not prepared, or I still had some work I wanted to do on the case, I wanted to try to locate some witnesses, whatever the issue is, it can have a negative impact on the efficiency of the court system, right? So this is just another example, for instance, where a role, an attorney, might be able to impact a court's calendar negatively. But it can also impact a court's calendar positively by, if I was an attorney and my case is on the court's calendar, that I am ready to proceed. I'm prepared, and when my docket gets called, I'm able to address the court and move the case along further towards a resolution. And that's a positive way that we can impact case management, right? And then articulation, as always, remember, you're going to need to have at least 3 sources cited in APA format, and this is going to be 1 to 2 pages, right? This assignment is going to help you as you begin to work on your milestone 2 assignment, which is part of module 5. So one of the things in that milestone 2 is you're looking at key roles within the court system, and basically this role that you select here can be applied in your milestone 2 assignment, right? So that's it. It's a pretty straightforward assignment this week. Again, we're focusing on court personnel in both our our short paper this week and our discussion assignment. All right. That's it, guys. If you have any questions, kindly let me know. Again, I appreciate everyone's hard work, and keep up the good job. Bye.